Hey guys, Akil Stokes here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you an accountability session with one of our trial members. In today's session, this member talks about how he's going about creating a plan for success and why he chose Tier 1 trading out of all the other companies that are out there. By the way, if you're interested in joining us for a risk-free trial membership, you can do so at www.tier1trading.com. I'll also throw in a link to the show notes or in the show notes so you can get started right away.
Thanks for coming on because we've sort of squeezed you in the door, haven't we?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for coming on. I know Aaron was a trial member, and then he was thinking about trading, and he hasn't really stopped thinking about it since. And I thought we'd get him into the accountability session, see what he's up to. So tell us a bit about yourself before trading, Aaron.
Yeah, so I'm from Wales. I moved to London about 5 years ago to work as a computer investigator, which is my day-to-day job. I sort of got into investing and trading probably a year and a half ago.
Right.
I had a bit of
when you say got into it, what you started opening your eyes to it and found out what it was,
yeah,
kind of thing.
I got into cryptocurrency first.
Right.
So I was buying Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of it, and obviously in 2017 it just kept going up, and I was like, yeah, this is easy, I can make money from this.
Yeah.
And then obviously it all crashed and pretty much lost everything there.
Yeah.
And that's how I got into Forex, really. I started getting loads of people following me on Instagram that was into Forex, and they were like, oh, you should start trading this, we get free signals, all this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's how I fell
And then
into
you got
it.
right, okay. So you had some luck. So you was in quite a dangerous place then after you'd.
Yeah, because I was on a bit of a high.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But then it was the same with the Forex, so I was like proper skeptical about giving my money into these brokers. I hadn't even heard of Forex before I'd heard of cryptocurrency, so I was like completely new. And then.
And are you a skeptical kind of person in general?
Yeah.
You are.
I like to question things a lot.
Right.
So I'll do a lot of digging before that anyway. But yeah, I ended up going along with it, put like 300 quid into an account, and whether they were on a hot streak at the time of giving out signals or whether they are quite good, I don't know, but ended up making like 2 grand off 300 quid, and obviously as you can imagine, I was using lot size that were just way too big for my account. So then again, I was like proper pumped about making money and things like that, and then obviously over leveraged and lost like 800 quid in a day, which was like the account. So that opened my eyes, and then I thought there must be something more to it. And then went on YouTube, saw you and Akil, and I was just glued.
Right. What was different about us than all the other people trying to say trade?
It was because you guys weren't selling the dream. Like I was on Instagram, obviously it's everyone selling Lambos, showing they're making like 8 grand a day and all this sort of thing. And then I started watching your videos on YouTube, and I think it was one where you were doing a trend trade, and you were like explaining how you measure the kill zone and things like that. And that just got me hooked, because I obviously weren't selling like Lamborghinis and things like that. You were showing exactly how
Technicals,
you do it.
yeah.
And when I was obviously taking other people's trades, I didn't know what they were doing, what they were basing it off. I had no idea about like candlestick formations or price action, so I was proper emotional about the trade as well, which didn't help. And that's when I decided to give your trial a go. And I think it was 4, maybe 5 weeks off work.
Mm-hmm.
I signed up to the trial, went through the agent's course in like a day, and then signed up to the full membership. I'm just, I was on it like all day, every day, just note taking after note taking.
Amazing. And how did you find the content inside Tier 1?
No, it was great. It was the best content I've done. Before it, I was following a guy on YouTube, and he had a course, which I bought. It was only like a £150 course or something.
Right.
But all he was teaching was like pivots and how to trade off pivots.
Yeah.
And then I just couldn't get on with it. It just didn't work for me at all.
No.
And then I found you guys, and obviously I did each course one by one, note taking, and just did it in a structured way.
I know you're taking it very serious. I know you're obviously going to be. This is for you. I know you're investing and trading. This is something you want to do. What do you sort of say to the people? How's your opinions changed to people that come to you and talk about Forex trading now, though? Like you must feel like you're sort of above these people that come to you and try and sell you these signals or talk to you about Forex in general. It's
quite funny now.
Yeah.
I think I broke a phone me last. I think it may have been in early January, and he was talking to me. Oh wait, my screen was just locked. And he was talking to me about how I should listen to him, and he gives all this like fundamental advice, and I was like, look, I'm really not interested. I've got this broker. I use this, and all I trade is technicals. And he was just like, what do you mean you only trade technicals? I was like, well, I don't. That's just how I trade. I don't listen to all this news. It doesn't affect my trading plan or what I currently trade. And he just was having none of it. So quite funny.
Yeah. So what are you working on at the moment then?
So at the moment, all of my notes are quite scattered at the minute because I'm not a full member at the moment. So what I'm doing is re-going over all the notes I've taken and putting them into OneNote, like the Microsoft Notepad.
Yep.
So everything is structured in there from price action to like strategies and things like that. But what I wanted to do was obviously build a strategy and a trade plan at the same time.
Yeah.
So I usually work on trading 6 days a week, like after working hours, things like that. So I dedicate like 2 days to going over the basics, make sure I'm drilling that in, and then strategies that I've got down to a T is where I spend back testing.
Yeah. Excellent. And what's the plan? Like, what have you got a plan of in terms of time?
Yeah, so initially I was like, I want to trade trend continuation, I want to trade patterns, I want to do everything. And I was like,
Yeah.
It's just not possible when you sort of figure it out and put it all down on paper. And it was after the Emergence live event in London, and I met you guys, and you talked about how important planning was, and I think you showed a spreadsheet of like a progress bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is just class. I just want to do it. So then it was the Sunday, or I can't remember what day it was, but it was like a day later. Went home, put all my goals down, what I wanted to achieve, and how I was going to do it. I broke it down into like quarters and then weeks.
Yep.
So for this year, all I'm concentrating on is cipher patterns.
Yep.
I'm probably I am aiming to get one pair done a week. And then once I've finished that pair, then I'll go through the money management and how I can incorporate that into my trading plan.
Amazing.
And then I'll start trading that pair live.
Yeah, so you're going to sort of drip feed into your portfolio and start trading live,
Yeah.
go and test another one. Yeah.
So what I find that works for me as well is with that, I usually work around 7 till 3.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of spare time in the evening, but I quite like routine, and I thought if I do really want to do this, like maybe full time eventually one day.
Yeah.
I get into a routine now. So what I do is between 5 and 6 a.m. the pairs that I've already tested I can trade, and then any spare time after that I'll go through the remaining pairs and sort of paper trade them and log them. So I'm building up a picture of like how it's working live in the market, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
So it's saved me a bit of time on the back testing when I get around to that pair in this date.
Yeah. I think, Akil took a similar approach when he started trading. He started just doing one pattern. He put the pattern, started trading the pattern, then he started testing another pattern. Yeah. He slowly built his portfolio that way. So
I think he said that on his podcast a few days ago.
Oh, did he?
A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Excellent.
So, because initially I was like, if I just take a few pairs and I'll back test them on Cypher and I'll get good at Cypher and then I'll do, I don't know, Gartley or something else. But the more I think about it and then the more I looked at it on paper, I was like, if I just go through all of the pairs, one, I'll be better at Cypher recognition and drawing them and getting it all down than just sort of being like a jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah. Yep, totally.
So that's what I'm at the minute. It's just concentrating on patterns, and obviously I trade FTB.
Yep. Excellent. So what's the time? Have you got a sort of time plan, or you've committed to it and it's gonna just You know,
I've got a sort of a time plan. Like I said, I concentrate 2 days a
2
week
days.
on getting all my notes
Yep.
onto OneNote, and the next 3 to 4 days I concentrate on back testing.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to have like my Forex Bible, as I've named it, done by the start of June.
Yeah.
And then those 2 extra days I can dedicate to more back testing. So I should have them all done by around August, September, if I'm basing it on 1 a week-ish.
Okay. It's very, very realistic. So just before we head off then, what's your one sort of piece of advice for someone who was in your position, getting lots of calls from different Forex companies, and you've obviously seen Tier 1 inside out. So what would be your advice for someone in that position, if your position when you started?
My advice would be to just take the trial, don't listen to what anyone else says, and then just make your own mind up of what Tier 1 offers, because it's just mind-blowing.
Wow.
I just felt like you had found a golden nugget, and where everyone else is in the same boat and wants you to achieve, then that pumps you, and then you can pump someone else, and it's a great community. Like, I still speak to you guys and some of the other on the platform from now, so...
Yeah, that's amazing. So you've formed groups of friends and you've met people.
Yeah.
I always say, I mean, it's phenomenal watching everyone connect, and the community it's
That's
amazing.
the biggest thing. I think it was Matt just now. He was saying he was at like a block within back testing. And so many times I've hit that already.
Yeah.
And I've been back testing for like 4 or 5 months. And the amount of times I've done a pair. I think it was FTB when I was first going over it. I'd like gone to Euro USD, and I was like, I'm just not happy with it. And I've probably done it like 3 times.
Wow.
Just to get it right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes time.
It does. It
Like
certainly
anything.
does. It
If you
certainly
want to
does.
master it.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, thanks for your input into the session. We all know where you're at now. We know what your plans are. So I'd love to hear from you again in a few months if you can.
Definitely. I want to join the platform back as a full member as well.
Yep.
Once I've spent a bit of money on building a new PC this
Yes,
past few
I've
days.
seen that.
So I'm sort of building that, getting a pot together ready for our trading, and then...
And you're sort of building a journey Instagram page, right? So if people, like a blog,
Yeah,
so people can come and see you.
Well, yeah.
What's the handle? Might as well share it.
It's Aaron WFX.
Aaron WFX with 2 A's.
That's it.
Yeah, so these are really cool. I love seeing the Tier 1 sort of journey pages pop up and sort of see everyone's progress, and that's another form of accountability as well. So really good.
Yeah, my plan is to join back when I start a new like strategy, or a new like Gartley or something like
Yep.
that, because it gives me time to focus on one, get that nailed, then get onto something else and build the spider web of trading that way.
Excellent. All right, Aaron. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, mate. I'm gonna pause you there because obviously I've got 3 more to do. But
Thanks for having me, guys.
no, thanks. Have a great weekend.